controls the opening tip. Lawson, the point guard, has been brilliant.
Mike, the big matchup will be inside. Can they handle Hansbrough on the post?
Kicks it out. Thompson with the jump shot. Deon Thompson, who most nights is the 4th or 5th scorer.
The guy that's been on fire, Wayne Ellington, has been shooting like our Hubert Davis. He's been on fire.
This is Shire, who had been in a prolonged shooting slump, may have come out of it against Miami. That would be good news for Duke. Backdoor cut. Henderson got by Green.
Great backdoor with the overplay. Defensive transition, deflection. Henderson's been playing brilliantly the last 4 weeks. He's been one of the premier players in the conference and even the nation.
Look how quick North Carolina tries to push the ball down court. They never let the defense rest.
Last 2 games, you spoke about Lawson playing well. 15 assists and 0 turnovers. That's pretty good for a point guard.
That's tremendous. Ellington may have a tougher time tonight getting wide open shots against that Duke man-to-man. And there's Thompson, who has hit the first 2 buckets.
See, the advantage with the size on the interior certainly goes to North Carolina. But fatigue can play a part in this game with the depth factor that Duke has in the heat in this play.
Henderson down the lane. Great job of keeping the ball away from Hansbrough. Henderson has 4.
He's so explosive, has that great first step.
Reach in, it's going to be a foul on Henderson.
Mike Krzyzewski, I thought he did a great job in getting his kids. As you watch the backdoor cut, catch the defensive players staring at the ball, and then there's the drive to the goal, protect the ball with the left hand. That's a big-time move. I thought Mike Krzyzewski did a great job when they went down 16 to Miami, get blown out in that game with Clemson by 27. It could have been a nightmare psychologically. His kids regrouped and came back and won that game over a good Miami team where Jack McClinton was on fire at 34.
Inbounds to Lawson. Thompson didn't want that shot.
It's the best starting 5 in America, Mike.
Hansbrough, when he gets in that deep, nobody's going to stop him.
Well, the defense also stretches because of their ability to make the perimeter shot. Green on one wing and on the other wing, Ellington.
Sloppy ball handling by Henderson. Green on the run and got it.
Hansbrough has now passed Dickie Hemrick as the #2 leading scorer in the history of the ACC, chasing J.J. Redick. One of those years Hemrick played, Wake Forest was in the Southern Conference.
Singler. When Carolina gets good defense from its guards, they're virtually impossible to beat, aren't they?
They really had trouble defensively against Maryland, put 91 on the board, but they played so well defensively against a Virginia team and that they gave a great effort in that first half.
Shire got caught up in the air and threw it away the second turnover. Let's get more from Heather Cox.
Well, that Clemson loss, Coach K said, was not a loss. It was an annihilation. Quote, devastating. It could have started a downward spiral that might not have stopped. He said to his team afterwards, you have to have guts to do what's necessary. You can't be scared. He said, I was tough on the team because it was the biggest loss we'd had in 20 years, but I couldn't beat them up too much. I also must build them up. We'll see if that strategy works come tonight.
Well, they have always responded, Heather. There's Ellington to the basket. That's the first missed basket, but because of the foul, it won't even count.
They're doubling up every time Hansbrough touches the ball inside, trying to get it out of that double team. As you look at the Bluedevils this year, the numbers.
Mike Krzyzewski with a wry smile on the foul call.
Mike's really been happy from one factor. His team has not shot the ball really well. Offensively, not getting great shooting out of Shire and Singler, 2 guys you expect, but yet they've been able to still survive because of their defensive effort. They have really played brilliantly defensively most of the year, other than the breakdown in the game Jay Billis and guys had down here with Clemson, when it was a total breakdown.
Ellington makes both free throws. North Carolina has not missed, and they're up 10-4.
And don't
they're
take
a really good free throw shooting team.
You know, Mike, I don't want to take anything away from Clemson. They were brilliant.
Shire. He's going to be huge in this game, I think.
Shire and Singler were out early shooting. The S&S guys really working on their shot.
Lawson. He's 3 for 3.
They're going down the interior with guys Thompson, and certainly Hansbrough is going to be a major factor on that interior.
Henderson may have rushed at Ellington back the other way. Tough pull-up jump shot, and he missed.
Can you imagine Ellington and Henderson playing on the same high school team?
I think they were pretty tough to beat. Bad pass by Henderson, picked off by Ellington. 2-on-1, Green. Ellington. 2 point-blank tries, and they missed.
Well, you got challenged on that last one with that left hand. Duke now starting Paulus over Nolan Smith. Paulus had that big game, the last game for them. Gave him a great lift against Miami.
Boy, good defense by Carolina. Thompson. That's the 4th turnover. Deion Thompson in the lane. No. Bodies fly. Hansbrough, the only one left standing.
That's probably the easiest deuce he'll get all night. Tyler Hansbrough, who said no to Kansas, no to Missouri, and said, I wanted to be a Tar Heel. How badly? He stayed 4 years. I got a feeling Curry's going to stay 4 years down at Davidson.
Our guys are on the floor, and none of theirs are.
Well, 2 fierce competitors really go about it maybe a little differently, but they're both fierce competitors who have a great understanding of their personnel and know the strengths and weaknesses of their players and know how to hide their liabilities. Look at that backdoor cut.
Shire protected the ball, draws the foul. And right now, Roy Williams with an 8-point lead can afford to go to his bench. That's Ed Davis with his first personal foul. In case you missed it, Marcus Ginyard is done for the year. He just couldn't come back. He tried his hardest during rehab, wasn't able to do it, and they lost Will Graves to a season-ending suspension. So their depth, which they expected to be one of the strengths of this team, isn't there anymore.
Well, also Zeller. Zeller, the big guy, 7-footer, broke his wrist.
At the start of the year.
Yeah, he's starting to practice now. They said they're going to have to make a decision. Do they play him for about 10, 12 games and look at him as a vital part in quest of a national championship? Personally, I don't think you're going to see him play this year. As that good man-to-man defense, Duke really gets after you.
Green into the lane.
He's versatile, multi-dimensional. He would have been the best 6-man in basketball coming off the bench. If Ginyard was on the floor, who would have been a defensive stopper on the perimeter.
This is McClure. Two tips, and they got it. Lawson. No bucket, but a foul.
Duke working on the offensive boards, gets that tip and that score. Hey, tomorrow you got Louisville and Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish really struggling, lost 7 in a row back at home. UCLA and Arizona State. UCLA is probably playing a lot better than people really realize. Really doing a terrific job. And James Harden doing a great job for Herb Sendick in Arizona State.
Lawson, who leads the ACC in assists, another one of those good free throw shooters. Hansbrough back in after a brief rest.
The 2 losses North Carolina had, there was a common denominator. Lawson was not Lawson. He had 9 assists and 8 turnovers in those 2 games and really wasn't effective against BC or against Wake Forest.
And you're right, that's not Lawson.
It's a lot of fun up here, buddy, isn't it?
Oh, it's the best. Rather be about 40 feet lower where the temperature's 40 degrees lower, but I'll take this.
No complaints.
Ellington with the rebound. Duke has done North Carolina a favor and turned the ball over 4 times early in this game.
Last 5 games, Ellington's been really terrific. Started that game against Miami in the second half when he made 7 threes.
Pull-up jumper is good. Deion Thompson can't miss. He has 8 points.
Well, wide open shot. I mean, nobody guarded him. Zubik was nowhere to be found trying to guard him out there, and he had that open look.
Good head fake by Singler to get free, and he knocks it down.
He's been really struggling. 28% in his last 3 games, 9 for 38. But, you know, players go through little schneiden like that. Great ones, though, recover. And he's a terrific player. He's had a heck of a year for them. And he'll be back. He and Shire were out here so early tonight working on their shot with that talented Duke coaching staff.
fingers.
Here's the loose ball. Zubek goes to the floor. Henderson comes up. The first turnover for North Carolina in this game in over 6 minutes. Nolan Smith, offensive foul. That's 2 on Smith.
He only played 7 minutes against Miami that day because Paulus had come on strong. You know, you got to really salute Paulus. He loses the starting job, but he never loses that toughness as you see the charge. He kept battling. You think this guy wants it? You think he wants it? That's why he's a Hall of Famer. It's all about today, not about what he's achieved.
Zubek against Hansbrough. Contact, no whistle. Lawson. Boy, did Henderson get up. Holy cow.
He's one of the premier players in America.
Smith.
Smith wants some more PT. Playing time. He'll get it. Look at Lawson pushing the ball up the floor.
Racehorse basketball, and Bobby Fraser, who has not shot the ball well all year long, although for his career he's a very good shooter, knocks that one down.
He's had so many injuries, but he could be a key component to this team. Coming off the bench, giving he and Davis some quality playing time.
Very smart player, very good man-to-man defender.
Well, Daddy was a coach.
Henderson, reverse.
What can he do? He is so multi-dimensional. He can shoot the three. He can explode in transition. He can post you up. He's got those long arms defensively.
Fraser, good pass, and Thompson has made everything. He has 10 points. Good ball movement by Carolina.
Thompson said, hey, what about talking about me? I'm not a role player. I want to be a star here tonight.
That great man-to-man defense by Duke is being chewed up by North Carolina. Zubek, good pass to McClure, caught it a little off balance. Henderson into the lane with a hanger.
He's like Barishnikov in shorts right there. Ballerina hanging in the air. Cameron Crazies explode. Duke's got to get some stops defensively. North Carolina's been getting good shots. Offensive, very efficient.
Lawson against Smith. That's a good matchup.
Leading offensive team in the ACC against the #1 defensive team.
Tough shot for Ellington. He's had 2 jump shots. Neither one have been in much rhythm.
Not within the offense.
McClure, who does not look for his shot very often. Here's Zubek. He'd like to make Hansbrough play defense.
Zubek's lost a lot of minutes, has not played as well lately as he did earlier.
Fraser, they push the ball. Fraser wide open, nobody back, and he drains it. 2 threes for Bobby Fraser. Those are big.
That is really big because their bench has not been productive. And now they get that kind of scoring off the bench. That's a major lift.
Thomas.
That angle, didn't have a good angle. Here they go in transition, run baby run.
Ellington with McClure back. Ellington did a great job of protecting the ball with his body and getting 16 points. That's scoring you don't expect.
I'll tell you one thing, he gets open looks like that. I think Mike Krzyzewski's going to call Bristol, Connecticut and have Jay Billis shipped out here to guard him. I mean, to defend him. Roy may want to bring Hubert Davis down here. What I love about both these teams, it's all about the team. They're so unselfish. Ellington misses that free throw. So unselfish, always want to give up the ball, and it's all about winning. They have set such a standard, both these clubs. Hey, Tyler Hansbrough could be the first star to win 4 in a row in Cameron Indoor Stadium since the last guy to do it, Tim Duncan, did it at Wake Forest. And he just continues to win as an NBA.
Full court pressure, the kind of thing that just destroyed Duke against Clemson. Ineffective right here.
You're right there. 22 turnovers in that game. Only turned it over 9 against Miami, who used the zone, different styles.
Shire back on the court. The first 3-point shot that Duke has tried tonight. That's a staple in their arsenal.
Yeah, they need that 3. Out of guys like Shire and Paulus, Singler's capable of making it. Henderson.
Larry Drew is in, and Drew travels. Only the second North Carolina turnover.
Boy, Williams Hall of Famer has his Mike Krzyzewski. Both guys have programs where the kids, integrity, graduate athletes. I think Shire in the warm-ups, he didn't miss one. And he's been really struggling shooting the ball. The last 7 games has struggled.
I don't believe in warm-ups. I've watched guys make everything and then can't hit one during the game and vice versa. Singler left alone, no. Here comes Ellington. Can he get a shot in the rhythm of the offense? Green forced that one a little bit.
Got to go inside to the interior. That was an amazing stat last year. They beat Duke, and Hansbrough didn't go to the free throw line. That is so rare. That was
unbelievable.
One of the real priorities of Duke in their scouting report was say, keep Hansbrough off the free throw line. Paulus and Shire have to make threes for them to win this game.
That's their offense.
Paulus made 6 in Chapel Hill last year to beat North Carolina in North Carolina.
Paulus pestering Drew. This is Hansbrough. Goes baseline, cut-off foul by McClure. I mean, Duke's offense has always been penetrate and kick out.
I'm going to watch Paulus right now. He's patient this year. Finally got himself back in the starting lineup. Has started 105 games prior to this year. Lost the starting job. Smith was playing well early. It's pretty good when you got that kind of competition to practice every day.
You betcha. Lob to Ed Davis. Davis comes in off the bench and gets a bucket. This guy's a rebounding machine when he's in there. Henderson. He'll draw a foul on Davis.
You'll draw fouls if you have that attacking ability and you're aggressive offensively. Davis has been a positive guy, rebounding and blocking shots. Talk about rivalry week right there. Hoyas and Syracuse. That place will be rocking up at the Carrier Dome. Georgetown struggling right now. And we'll be down there, all of us, the game day crew, Dan Schulman, Jay Billish, Hubert Davis, Reese Davis, Digger, Ohio State, Wisconsin, the General, Robert Montgomery Knight, who, by the way, told me last night on the phone, as he missed the free throw, how he was so impressed with Memphis last week defensively and loved their freshman, Tyreek Evans, who I think right now would be my choice as the freshman of the year, followed by Willie Warren of Oklahoma.
Duke down by 7 in a fast-moving first half, 8:58 to go, and Henderson misses. Frazier with the rebound.
Got to make those free throws, Mike.
Roy Williams going as deep into his bench as he can. He has the lead on the road, being very smart about trying to rest his starters. Paulus reached in, got the steal, but kicked it out of bounds. And I'm not talking about it being hot for us, Dick. It's hot for the players
Absolutely.
on the floor. It was in the 70s today, and it becomes an oven in here. So the more guys you can use, and Roy likes to use a deep bench anyhow, the better off you're going to be.
Fatigue could be a factor, but he's getting really positive play out of Frazier and out of Davis.
Yes, he is. Hansbrough.
Wave it off.
Force and foul. Henderson drew the charge.
Henderson has been the do-it-all guy for Duke. Here he is defensively now rotating over. Good job defensively. Roy not happy with the call, obviously. He's not going to be pleased with that. He says, oh, no. That's my All-American, Tyler.
That's the first on Hansbrough. You know what's been interesting, Dick, is that people are not talking about Hansbrough in the same glowing terms they did about him last year, and yet his numbers are virtually identical. I don't understand.
Well, expectations also. It's like that star of stars. Right now, Blake Griffin's having a phenomenal year at Oklahoma, but I remember last year at this time, everybody was giving the Player of the Year award to Michael Beasley, and when it was said and done, Tyler Hansbrough got it.
Well, that's 2 fouls on Hansbrough. Is Roy Williams going to get him out?
You know, many coaches, I think, panic with the 2 fouls and make that quick substitution.
He's always been pretty good about not getting in foul trouble.
I saw Rick Pitino the other day with Williams leaving him on the floor, and I couldn't agree more. I know Al McGuire used to say, hey, I don't want him sitting next to me to be an assistant coach.
Ball is guarded by Frazier. 31-24, the lead still 7. Shire on the curl has a little runner.
having a big night so far. That's a big plus for Duke.
That's 9 for Shire. Look at the hustle. That's one of the things that Paulus gives you. He makes all-out effort plays, whether they work or not. He inspires everybody.
I'll tell you, Mike, he gets a lot of heat. This kid is an absolute team player. He's a hustler. He scraps. There he is diving. Former football superstar as a quarterback. Brother now plays for the Tar Heels.
Fraser wide open again, and Bobby Fraser,
3 of them,
who came into this game shooting only 22% from long range, has hit 3 threes. Singler back the other way, trying to do the same thing, and does.
I'll tell you one thing, warming up early might have been psychologically a big lift for Singler and Shire. Hey, Frazier's playing like Wolf Frazier. He made 3 big threes here.
Is this good or what?
He hasn't made 3 big shots all year.
No, he hasn't. But he's a clutch kid, too. Coming off that ACL surgery from a year ago, some kids, it takes a long, long time to recover. And Hansbrough attacked by the crowd after shooting an air ball.
The intensity, emotion, the rivalry, so special. Look at that drive. So explosive. You got the Yankees, the Red Sox, Ohio State, Michigan football. Give me North Carolina and Duke. It doesn't get better than this, baby.
34-31. We've just gone under 7 minutes. Thompson.
What a lift you get when guys make threes. Psychologically and every other way, it is such a plus. Roy was telling me before the game, he said, we got a big lift when Ellen to start making those threes against Miami.
Shire again. No one came over and stopped him. He just kept going until he laid it in. Shire has 11. The lead has been cut to 1. Thompson. And a foul on Thompson.
Starting to forget. I've been up here with you, Mike, 30 years, sitting here calling these games. The intensity, emotion, the passion, 8 miles apart, great players, great coaching. It's always been special.
Dick, you're absolutely right. Duke with a chance to take its first lead. North Carolina has been up by as many as 11. McClure, Paulus. Shire's on the bench right now. He's the guy who had 22 against Miami. He has 11 in this game. Paulus with a tough 3 has just given Duke the lead for the first time.
It is hard to believe that kid was not playing more earlier. He is absolutely a tenacious competitor.
Nolan Smith was wide open, then hesitated and fired up an air ball. When you hesitate like that, you're probably better off to pass. Ellington on the run, no. North Carolina's gone cold.
They've been able to contain Ellington. Look at that move. Look at that move.
Well, he made up for the bad shot with a great move.
Nolan Smith. He says, I want more playing time. He and Paulus playing together right now. Oh, this place is electric, Mike, electric.
Ellington, no. Thompson knocked away. Great defense by Paulus.
Both these kids and teams playing so hard.
What a game. Singler. Holy cow.
They're feeling it now. Mike Krzyzewski's got to like this momentum they have. They're making shots, something they've been struggling doing. Shooting the basketball.
Down by 11, now they're up by 6.
This game has an impact for #1 seed, leadership in the ACC.
Lawson. Oh, what a tough shot by Lawson. Got by a steal attempt, still had a hand in his face and knocks it in.
He's so strong with the basketball, very physical when he attacks the basket. Great fake.
Singler got it back. And his foul.
He did a terrific job getting in triple threat position, facing the goal, to pass, shoot, a rebound. Take a look at Smith right now. Coast to coast, little change of hands, a little spin, a little whirl, lay it on the glass. Oh, look at that spin. Graceful. Is that Baryshnikov? I didn't know he's here. I didn't know Baryshnikov's here.
Great body control. Duke now shooting 68%. They are absolutely on fire. The first 5 minutes, they hit 4 out of 7. Since then, 13 out of 18, including the bombs. And now Mike Wood, part of this outstanding officiating crew, steps in and says, all right, boys, let's settle it down a little bit. Paulus off the inbounds pass. What a run by Duke.
Shooting the basketball hides a lot of liability.
Yes, it does.
You start converting offensively, making shots.
Paulus, that's a tough shot, off the mark. And McClure with a reach over. That's 3 on McClure. 3:53 to go in the first half from Cameron Indoor. Duke by 3. Danny Green will go to the free throw line. The 6'6" senior out of North Babylon, New York, who's averaging 13.5 points a game.
He's been such an asset with his offensive ability. He's been so efficient, utilizing that 3 very effectively on the wing.
Pretty good on the other end of the court, too. Tremendous shot blocker.
Absolutely. He made some great block shots against Miami, which were a key.
Shire kicks it outside. Henderson tries to go down the lane. A bump, no call. Paulus got it. That's another tough shot by Greg Paulus. He has 8 points in the first half.
He likes the big moment. I really believe that.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He does like the big moment. Working so hard defensively.
Paulus steals it from Drew, and now a tie-up. Well, what a difference he has made.
He was the reason they were able to win that game and come back from 16 down against Miami. Playing tough defense, head on the ball, good stance, drive them, beat them, turn them. That's called DBT. You drive them, you beat them, you turn them. It's called what? DBT. Drive them, beat them, turn them. We used to teach that when I coached.
Did you really?
Years ago. Years ago. So much easier coaching here than coaching.
I'd rather have a BLT, thanks.
I don't blame you.
The lead is 4, 3:12 and counting. Zubek calling for the ball inside.
Think of this rivalry, and there have been so many stars that we have witnessed. The super players in the history of the game of college ball have worn those uniforms.
Boy, Dick, when you read in the notes that this is the 40th time they have faced each other when they were both in the top 10. We've probably done 2/3 of those games, thank goodness. Here's the lob to Henderson. Tried to make the tough catch and get it to Zubek, and then Zubek commits the foul.
Tried to make that spectacular play with that back screen and try to free him. As you look at Coach K's got the gold medal as well. Coach, that great team went back a sense of pride. Louisville, Notre Dame. Can the Irish break that 7-game losing streak? Brent Musburger, Bobby Knight, and Digger Phelps will be down there.
Carolina will go back to the line 7 out of 8 tonight as a team. Davis only a 60% shooter, but he looked good on that one. Davis out of Richmond, Virginia.
Good rebounder, shot blocker. He's been a force off the bench for them during the course of the year. Long arms. He's going to be a very good player. They got a great recruiting class
coming in. Well, he's at North Carolina.
Yeah. They got a great recruiting class coming in. Many people say the best in the nation.
Well, it's North Carolina. I hate to repeat myself, but
you just expect it. And Duke's going to reload. They got 2 great kids coming in next year, Plumlee and Brian Kelly.
Paulus for 3. Good rebound to Zubek. Shire for 3. Nice rebound to Copeland, getting some rare minutes.
He's got to get minutes now without Graves. He's been suspended. Ginyard gone. Zeller gone. Got to give him a big body on the interior.
Ellington, who is 0 for 5 from the floor, make it 0 for 6.
Struggling Ellington. They've done a great job containing him because he's been one of the real hot players in the conference.
Dick, in the last 4 or 5 ball games, Ellington has been getting a lot of wide open threes because they try to double team Hansbrough.
Exactly.
Tonight he hasn't gotten the wide open threes and he hasn't made anything. Henderson.
He's made some shots.
Yes, he has.
Coach Boucher, I like your analogy of what he's broke down with Hansbrough on the interior. He's going to get you open looks on a perimeter.
Ellington, foul.
I mean, the intensity here, Mike, we're up here, up in the booth, and you can just feel that intensity. It's riveting.
2 on Subak.
Has a coach ever appreciated a referee's call with a foul? I don't think so.
I don't think at the time. I think later when they go back and see the tape, they might say, well, grudgingly, yeah, that was pretty good.
In and out. Having a tough time shooting.
But these are terrific officials.
Absolutely.
And coaches have a tendency to see the game the same way the fans do, with their hearts rather than their eyes.
Why had some people tell me today, all you talk about is North Carolina. You don't talk about us anymore, the Dukies. Can you believe that? I mean, it's the people hear what they want to hear.
45-41. Duke down by 11 at one point has come roaring back and has the lead here at home. Number 3 against number 5, playing for first place in the ACC.
Both clubs not holding the ball. This is so awful. I told you, Mike, coming out early helped him. It really did. He was working on his form. They got some outstanding assistant coaches with Collins and Wojo. So does, when you look at North Carolina's staff with Holiday and Robinson.
Lawson, nice anticipation by Shire, and he makes a pick. Duke is 6 out of 9 from long range. McClure. Duke crowd wanted to travel. Green, nice job to pull up, but he missed the shot.
One of the keys right now, why they're +7, they have contained that lethal backcourt of Lawson and Ellington. They've done a great job controlling them.
Lawson hasn't been able to penetrate, and Ellington hasn't been able to hit it. Well, here's the way it works with coaches and officials.
Oh, we're going to take a look here. Mike Krzyzewski. It's a love fest. Oh, look at Carl Hess. They love each other. What he said, what are you doing now? What are you doing? No, Johnny Green. I don't like that call. Oh, it's getting a little bit. Oh, now a little sarcasm as well.
I wish I could remember you on the sideline.
I was the wackiest of all time. I am so lucky that there was no such thing as ESPN. I've been in a mental institution.
Shire. Foul on Green, and that upsets the Carolina folks.
Had a clear out, little isolation. Shire, an excellent free throw shooter, now goes to that free throw line.
North Carolina has gone cold. Hansbrough, in case you're wondering, on the bench because of those 2 fouls more than anything. And North Carolina has made only one of its last 8 shots. They haven't had a field goal in almost 4 minutes.
And they're a team that averages in the ACC 92 points a game versus that defensive effort. Duke gives up 61. In Duke's 3 losses, they gave up 75 points a game. Their defense has been their staple this year. Their defense and their depth and ability to shoot the 3.
And that's what's been missing in the losses, the ability to shoot the 3.
On the last 2 games, they had big deficits at halftime. This time, they're going to go in that locker room feeling pretty good about themselves.
13 points for Shire. He is out of his slump.
They're in a zone right now. They're zoning up.
Somebody has to get on Ellington, and somebody better get on Danny Green because he can knock down the three as well. Green has 9. The lead's cut to 6. Now Duke can play for the last shot.
You know, Green and Ellington, their eyes will light up seeing a zone defense getting in those gaps and seams. Rivalry week's been special. You had really a barn burner last night. Florida, Kentucky, Kansas, Missouri. A last-second shot by Taylor to win it for the Tigers. Last night, Jody Meeks. Will it happen again today?
Thomas! What a pass by Henderson.
Great pass by Henderson. What a terrific job in body control in handling that ball to create the foul. Take a look at that pass. Thomas on the inside. Nice handle.
Excuse me, I said Henderson. That was obviously Singler.
Singler made the great pass, but also the job by Thomas hanging. Good balance.
When you can make that pass with one hand off the dribble,
that's
that
special.
Can really get somebody open.
Yeah, dude, so quick. So quick.
Thomas for a three-point play, no.
They think the kid Plumlee next year is going to help him in that post.
Whoa! Danny Green. Let's check in with Heather Cox. Heather.
Well, I talked to a very focused Roy Williams coming out of the locker room, and he said flat out, we played awful defense the last 12 minutes of the first half. Any adjustments? And he joked, yeah, maybe we'll start diving on the floor, maybe sweating a little bit, which is hard to believe in this hot building. Now, as far as defense and Duke goes, they'd like to see them not get past it. The coach talked about the guys in the first 4 minutes have to be better in the second half than they were in the first half, especially with Carolina's main guys back on the floor.
And Heather, during that stretch, Duke outscored Carolina 34-15 to take the lead.
You know, Mike, stay in tune with these numbers. Numbers you don't see in the stat sheet as you see them battling. Little Singler with a little elbow right there. With an elbow, that's a no-no. That's a no-no. But let me tell you these numbers right here. In the 2 losses, Lawson was 9 assists, 8 turnovers. In this game, he's 3-3. That's not typical Lawson. If those numbers continue, it could be another number to the Yale side showing the common denominator. When he doesn't play well, that machine doesn't play well.
They have done a great job keeping him out of the lane where he is so efficient. Now let's see what the call is going to be. Are they going to hit Singler for a foul on the floor when that elbow hit Hansbrough? There you see Tony Green made a motion with his elbow.
I mean, there's no doubt there's the elbow right there, Mike. I mean, that's clear as can be. Clear as can be. Hansbrough goes back, flinches, catches the elbow. There's been a lot of incidents this year. In fact, there's a big write-up in USA the other day. Jay Billis did an article about some of the things taking place with elbows being thrown on the ESPN.com.
A technical foul being called on Singler for the elbow.
This reaction. I mean, this reaction.
Now, I think what Duke would contend is that Singler is trying to grab the ball, his hand slips off, and his elbow goes back. Of course, North Carolina is going to make the point that no matter what, he got hit with an elbow.
Got hit with an elbow. He's down on the ground. A lot of things happen when you're down on the ground. He tried to get people off him, but he definitely threw that elbow. And I don't think the official has any other choice to make that call.
And a good job by Hansbrough for not retaliating.
Exactly. Creating a bigger problem.
Yeah, or doing anything silly. So it's going to be a technical, and Green will shoot it. It's going to be a big moment in this game. It's an 8-point lead. So much tension. And that's the third on Singler because a technical also counts as a personal.
That's where that becomes big, and he's been so effective here.
Mike Krzyzewski's going to leave him on the court, and it will be Duke basketball.
Another huddle job by the officials. Michael Wood, Carl Hess, Tony Green.
Henderson to inbound, 19:44 to go in the ball game. It's 52-46. Duke came storming back after North Carolina had played so well at the beginning of the game and taken an 11-point lead.
Well,
Paulus has been terrific.
They played so well because they shot 61%, Mike. I mean, that's just an incredible number.
At the beginning, they made everything.
And they've been struggling shooting the basketball in their recent games. Henderson was brilliant. He did it all in that first half. Played like a superstar.
Shire, nice move to get inside. Head pump blocked. Got it back somehow. Missed again. And Duke basketball. Somehow Shire got the offensive rebound. Now he'll try a three. It was partially blocked by Thompson.
Well, they were concerned with the shot clock, so he tried to get it up quickly. Lance Thomas got him the ball back out.
Nice job by Thompson hustling out there. Here's the scoring that you expect to see. Hansbrough and Ellington only 4 points apiece, and Hansbrough goes out and shows you his range. So the Stars on one side delivering the Stars on the other side, not so far.
Well, Hansbrough's got to be able to go down in the post and do what he does well. Wear people out, get to the foul line. Duke would love to see him stay on the perimeter.
Shire kicks it out to Henderson. He'll try a three. Singler kept it alive and had it blocked, and there's a foul on Thompson. That'll be 3 on Deon Thompson. Excuse me, no foul?
No call on Thompson here. Singler made a great offensive rebound. Good switching up on top by Duke, stepping out. They're going to slide Hansbrough inside.
Thompson a little short. They're going to call it goaltending. My mistake on that last possession. Singler out hustling everybody.
Nobody got back defensively. Same thing happened to them. Roy was really upset against Maryland, who put 91 points on the board. He said they beat us in transition. Singler is playing possessed. He is playing possessed. I think he's tired of reading about how much of a struggle he's been in the last 3 games.
They're on their feet at Cameron. The lead is back to 8.
What a terrific job of getting up the court. That was reminiscent of the Boston Celtics and the Red Order. After a score, go down and get one quick.
Singler with 14 points. Hansbrough, who only had 4 points and 3 rebounds in the first half.
Really surprised that Hansbrough's not attacking the basket.
Green picks up his second foul. The unexpected, Thompson and Fraser combined for 19 points. I'll say it's unexpected. And Shire, who's been in a shooting slump until the last game, and Paulus really come through for Duke. So it's not always the #1 stars. It's the other guys who step up. You said guys like Paulus, like the big moment.
You get opportunities because everybody keys on the Stars, so it creates space. Thompson's gotten cold, though, from that early start, Mike. He was on fire the first 5 minutes of the game. That's what he's got to do, attack the basket.
Yes, he does.
That's what he has to do.
Because they have nobody that can match him.
Exactly. His power, his strength. It's not shooting jump shots. It's going to the basket. That's what's made him a player of the year. What's made him an All-American.
56-50. Singler cuts through 2 defenders, and right there to block it is Davis.
Davis did a great job helping Hansbrough out because Singler went right by Hansbrough.
Lawson missed a wide-open shot, and Thomas and Davis tie it up. Boy, and they're really starting to wolf at each other a little, aren't they?
Look at this right here. He goes right by Hansbrough, but Davis is there with the great timing and helping his teammate out. That's what you call team defense, lending a helping hand to each other.
What a block by the 6'10 freshman. Green trouble inbounding. Lawson.
North Carolina will not win this game unless Ellington starts giving them some points, Mike.
Davis in a mismatch underneath against Paulus. Green will try a three. There's Davis, and Paulus tied him up. What a job by a guard in a mismatch. He knew he couldn't stop him if he got a shot.
Well, you know the reason he tied him up is because the 6'9" player ended up playing at 5'9" by bringing the ball to the floor. And that's a no-no. He made himself 5'9".
9 turnovers for Carolina. Boy, have we seen some plays in this game.
I can't believe it, man. This is unbelievable here tonight.
Shire and Duke starting the second half the way they started the first half. Not real hot.
Look at the job they're doing on Lawson. There's Smith played them. They played together in high school. A little switch.
One of the few times he's been able to penetrate. When he does that, you can't stop it.
No, because he's like a runaway freight train. He's so strong. He and Smith played together at Oak Hill as a steal.
Great reach in and steal. Ellington.
They got to get out. This is the first goal. That's his first basket, I believe. That's his first basket of the night. The guy that's been on fire.
And it took a layup, albeit off of a great defensive play to get it.
And that would make Roy Williams smile. Defensive effort. They really extend. You get a lot of backdoor cuts.
McClure and Nolan Smith in the game off Mike Krzyzewski's bench. He's trying to do what Roy Williams did in the first half. Give his starters a breather. Henderson. McClure saves it. Dangerous pass. Henderson, great body control. Missed it, but Singler is there.
What a tip by Singler. Having a brilliant performance.
Singler with 16.
Left-handed tip. These two clubs, without a doubt, are going to be such factors come March.
Green, offensive foul.
Duke does a great job of that, rotating over.
Cutcliffe, who is trying to revitalize Duke football and will, is here.
He's doing a phenomenal job. I remember when he was at Notre Dame for a short period of time. Everybody was so impressed. I thought he got a raw deal at Mississippi.
He did. The head coach at Mississippi, the offensive coordinator at Tennessee, coached both Manning quarterbacks. And he will do a great job here. Singler on the way in, stripped, and we've got a tie-up.
Oh, look at this, Coach Stoops in the house. Oklahoma, what a basketball team you got. Coached by a Dookie, Jeff Capel, doing a terrific job with Blake Griffin, who right now would be probably my choice as the National Player of the Year if I voted today.
And if you're interested in Oklahoma basketball right now, they're up on Baylor by 8. That's on ESPN2. There's the lob, Hansbrough, great pass by Lawson. Great communication between the two veterans.
Well, they set that play up off the weak side, great eye contact.
Pass off to Carolina to come back. They've tied it at 58.
You're not surprised. They got the best starting 5 in America. Connecticut's so physically gifted with Thabit. He's worth 20 points just by being on the floor.
Shot clock down to 10. Zubek on the bounce pass. Here's Singler. Duke looks disorganized right now.
They look a little out of rhythm right here.
Singler against Hansbrough. Backs out and hit a three. Are you kidding?
It doesn't matter the way he's playing tonight. It was certainly disorganized, that offensive set, but Singler made up for it because he's been absolutely brilliant.
What a great step back. Lawson, a brilliant drive for the bucket.
That's his game. Attack the basket off the bounce.
Smith, pull-up jumper.
He says to his teammate, high school teammate at Oak Hill, anything you can do, I can do better. Lawson says, you don't believe that. They played at Oak Hill Academy under Stephen Smith out of Virginia. They're New York learning.
Lawson again, nice drive, foul before he got there.
They played soccer as well. Did you know that? They played soccer together. Yeah, worked on their agility during the soccer. Look at right now. There's that spin, the backdoor cut, the lob over the top. Hansbrough with the jam. Chasing J.J. Redick, 2,000. Wow, take a look how many he needs right there. Only 172 points shy.
Averages 22 points a game.
2007-69 is the magic number. Right
Duke
now,
by 3.
He cares about one number: win tonight.
Yep. Fraser to inbound. Hansborough getting what will probably be a very brief rest.
Fraser did such a great job in the first half with those 3 big threes.
Ellington, 14-footer, his second basket of the night.
They need him to score. He came alive against Miami in the second half. He knocked down 7 threes. But Duke's not going to allow him to shoot threes. They're going to get right up in his face.
Exactly. Henderson. Smith, 16 feet. And Carolina with a chance to regain the lead. Here comes Fraser. Ahead to Ellington. Poor pass as he was out of control. Smith down the lane. Singler tries to follow. Foul on Singler. That was a bad decision by Nolan Smith.
Yes, sir. Out of control by Nolan Smith. Who offensively had no rhythm to that possession at all.
More rivalry week action for you on Saturday, noon Eastern, Syracuse, Georgetown. Then at 9, the Saturday primetime game, Ohio State, Wisconsin. Rivalry week this Saturday on ESPN.
We'll all be down there in Madison, Wisconsin. The entire crew, the game day crew. That'll be a must game for Wisconsin, trying to keep their hopes alive.
Bet it won't be 75 degrees.
Dump it inside.
Ellington, that's the first open three he's had tonight, and he can't hit it. McClure, tied up, lost out of bounds to Duke.
You know, McClure's one of those guys we always talk about. The banger, the crasher, the guy you need on the floor. You can't have all shooters. You got to have some people to screen, the rebound, and he's one of those terrific kind of players.
Duke clinging to a 1-point lead.
Oh, look at that screen. Nobody communicated.
Ouch. Offensive foul, Paulus.
Roy Williams upset with that. Nobody communicated on the screen.
Got away with a push-off, momentarily at least. Boy, good job by Hansborough. He's out on a guard.
Look at Ron. He's rooting at, oh, that unbelievable suit. That's not a Kmart special either, I can tell you that. That's an Armani.
Ellington, Lawson.
And McClure matched up with Hansborough. Hansborough coming out of the perimeter. He's got to duck into that post area.
Lawson got by Thomas. Thomas is there and fouled him.
Lawson did a terrific job creating the opportunity for the foul. He is starting to really take charge here in that second half, offensively attacking the basket.
Yeah, they lit a fire under him because he is penetrating in the second half when he didn't in the first. North Carolina last led 34-32. That was back in the first half.
There's so many good point guards in America this year. Got Levance Fields, an underrated guy down at Pittsburgh. Collison down there. UCLA. Tyreek Evanson's playing a point for John Calipari. Memphis, they haven't lost a game.
Levance Fields makes that team move.
Oh, he's really so unselfish. And then there's Curry, who to me is not a typical point guard. He's just a combination guard.
Lawson. And the Heels have taken the lead, 64-63. And Roy Williams doing a heck of a job. He's trying to give Hansborough a breather every time he can. If he gets the lead, Hansborough's going to sit on that bench.
It's got to be so exhausting on the floor. Remember this, Hansborough trying to go 4 for 4 here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Tim Duncan made that happen in his career at Wake Forest.
North Carolina has cranked up the defense here in the second half.
Yeah, I think Roy got in their faces. I don't think he was pleased at all with their defensive effort. And Duke did a brilliant job offensively executing.
Paulus against Drew. Shot clock running down. Shire with a runner. No. Thomas offensive rebound. Put it in.
Good position by Thomas. Came in with a big reputation out of St. Benedict's. Played for Danny Hurley, Bob Hurley's brother.
Fraser with Paulus on him.
Good switch stepping out.
But that leaves Fraser open. He misses. Paulus tipped it but picked up by Thompson, and Fraser went down in the backcourt. Ellington with a big three.
He's starting to light it up now, Mike. He's got 3 goals here in the second half. Had 0 in the first half. Said earlier they can't win unless he puts some points on the board.
Carolina by 2.
Henderson's been quiet here so far in the second half. Was brilliant in the first half.
Hesitated, then missed the shot. How often do you see that?
He was so tough in that first half, going 6 for 7.
Ellington with a miss. The ball knocked away from McClure. Drew stumbled. And the basket good by Davis.
Nice post move by Davis inside. Getting the positive minutes out of Davis and out of Fraser. Mike Krzyzewski not happy at all there with their defensive effort.
This is why they call this game the greatest rivalry in basketball. 10 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the ballgame. 69-65. Carolina by 4. In the second half, Paulus, Henderson, and Shire, no points. They have taken 9 shots. They've missed them all. They were the stars in the first half, and Shire breaks that drought.
Got that little baseline jump shot. They got to get some defensive stops. They haven't been able to handle Lawson.
And you're not going to stop him when he's that deep.
They're not handling Lawson. He's got that great change of direction, the strength, attacks the basket. He is playing brilliantly here in the second half offensively. Mike Krzyzewski trying to think of a remedy on how to match up. Maybe a zone defense for a minute or 2 to take away that driving ability. They played some zone against Miami, and coming back, they went to a zone trap.
Well, Fraser, Ellington, and Green will light up like it's Christmas, won't they?
Well, they would if they get gaps. If you match up, they play like a man-to-man, and that you match up with those guys. I just mean for a minute or 2 to get them out of a rhythm. You don't want teams to get in a rhythm offensively.
71-67, Heels over the Blue Devils. Henderson. Good help defense. McClure with a rare outside shot. No.
That's not his strength, Mike.
No, it's
wide
not.
open, but there's a reason he's wide open. He's a rebounder, a defender, screenner.
McClure, only his 6th three-point attempt of the year. He's made 1.
North Carolina will allow him to shoot that perimeter shot. I mean, he's a valuable player to the team, but that's not his strength.
Hansbrough back in.
We're trying to challenge him right now defensively. That's one of his strengths. Plays with his heart. Plays so tough physically.
Thompson, who had such a terrific start to the game. Backing in on Singler, and Singler is playing with 4 fouls. He really can't challenge him.
Did a great job attacking him off the bounce right there.
73-67. North Carolina starting to establish its dominance again. Henderson for 3. Rims out. The shots that were falling are not falling now.
Henderson cold here in the second half. Great play
by Henderson.
He had 18 that second half against Miami.
Shire. Nice feed to McClure.
Nice look by Shire.
Boy, does Henderson have some serious... Duke came storming back, and now Carolina's returned the favor.
Well, Singler playing so well. I know they told you he had 4 fouls, Mike, but he's got 3, Singler. But I will tell you this, one of the keys so far is they're keeping Hansbrough off the free throw line. That's why he only has 10 points.
Lawson has done a tremendous job in the second half. He has been able to penetrate. This time he is fouled by Paulus. That's 2 on the senior.
Take a look at the standings right now. Playing for number 1 in the conference. Clemson very dangerous. Wake Forest lost again today. They're a little bit of a slide. Florida State is really a solid basketball team. Virginia Tech very dangerous. I'll tell you one thing. There'll be more than 4 teams in the NCAA tournament this year versus last year. I think they're going to get at least 6.
Hansbrough against the double team. Kicks it out to Lawson.
Nice deflection by Shire.
Henderson kicks it out. Shire for 3. Thomas, no. Hansbrough with a rebound, and he's fouled. Thomas had a point-blank follow, couldn't hit it. And Duke 0 for 10 from three-point range.
Doors were closed, have not been open to let any cross speeds. Certainly really trying to create a bit of an oven effect in here for the visitors.
Hey, Heather, you're going to become a meteorologist. Hey, she's the future Al Roker. Unbelievable. We got to have weather reports here at Duke.
Tyler Hansborough, number 3 in NCAA history as far as made free throws. He's a terrific shooter, hits only 1 out of 2, however. The lead has grown to 5.
You know, Duke can't win this game, Mike. I talked about it earlier in the game, unless they made threes. They better make some threes, or they're not going to win this basketball game. They're 0 for 10 here in the second half. Henderson's been really quiet.
Double teamed and fouled from behind by Danny Green.
That's when he's at his best, when he's attacking off the bounce.
4 on Danny Green. Doubleheader rivalry action continues tomorrow night. 7 Eastern. Brent Musburger, Bob Knight, and Digger Phelps. Number 7 Louisville takes on Notre Dame. Then at 9, number 6 UCLA, number 18 Arizona State. Thursday night showcase on ESPN. Henderson will go to the line.
Created the 4th foul on Green, and that's big because they're not a very deep team, North Carolina. So you got to attack Green, whoever he's guarding. He's going to take him out for a moment, bring in Frazier. They wish they had him in the lineup. Mr. Ginn, your defensive stopper. He could play one of the perimeter guys like Shire or Paulus. He could play any of them. He could play even Henderson. He's one of those versatile defensive players. They're back, baby. This is what we wanted. A game to go down the end. A Maalox smasher. There's that screen, 2-man game.
Lawson.
Can't handle him. It's an M&M or a mismatch. They
Lawson
can't handle
got by Paulus. He has 14. Big second half.
One-on-one, he's been unstoppable.
Here comes Lawson on the run. Paulus gets back. And Lawson again.
He uses that backboard so well. He's got that great explosive speed in the open court. Brilliant second half by Lawson. First half.
Faster end-to-end than anybody in the game.
There's some quick guys out there.
I'll take him. You try to beat him.
Give me Collison.
Oh, what a tough off-balance shot Henderson tried there.
He is strong with the ball, Mike. That's his great strength. He not only has speed and quickness, but has great strength.
Frazier to Lawson. Backdoor. Lawson drops it off. Paulus commits the foul to prevent the easy bucket.
Just getting a little danger time here for Duke. Real danger time. Change the complexion quickly so you can knock down a 3.
They've got to hit the 3-point shots. When the game started, North Carolina built its 11-point lead. Duke was not hitting the threes. Then they started, they got right back in it and took the lead. Now they're not hitting the threes again. Sometimes it's real simple. You don't make those shots and it's part of your offense, it's going to be a tough night.
You go home with an L. And the other guy goes home with the W, Coach Patrick. Right on target.
Our Disney Park moments of the game in this great rivalry, Dick.
Oh, you take a look at so many great moments in this game. They're unbelievable. In this game right here, there's that whirling drive by Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith comes to town. And there's Lawson. Shooting pass, the diagonal pass to Hansbrough, the All-American, the P.T. Beer. Yes, Mr. Lawson, you should smile. Oh, Mickey Mouse will be happy. I love Mickey as my boss. When Mickey came aboard, the numbers got bigger. Hey, we got all the bosses here tonight. Mr. Bodenheimer, our president, Mr. Skipper, Mr. Williamson, Mr. Steer. All the bosses are in the house.
Is Mickey here?
Oh, Mickey's not here.
He's busy. Thompson at the free throw line. Young man out of Torrance, California, got off to a great start in this ball game.
There was a factor early in the game. He can make shots. Got to bring Davis in, a little defense now. Roy Williams utilizing his bench. A minute here, a minute there, getting a rest.
Lead back to 9. This is a big possession, I think.
Oh, turnover.
And Shire goes down, falls, and the pass whisks over his head.
He
and
tripped.
Mike Krzyzewski wanted a foul.
He has a right screen in there. It was a little trip. That's why he went to the floor, went to the deck. They need a stop. They have been unable to stop the penetration of Lawson.
Smith is in there. You have to feel for that very reason.
He's familiar with him, has that ball screen for him. Played him every day in practice. At a high school level, they were teammates. Smith and Lawson going head-to-head. Soccer teammates as well at Oak Hill Academy.
Shot clock down to 9.
He feels confident right now with his game.
Hansborough with the shot clock at 3.
Wow.
Oh, what a tough shot.
Right in front of the North Carolina faithful. What a big shot that is. That's a backbreaker. Puts you up 12.
With the shot clock running down to nothing, your All-American center drains a 3. Shire has it knocked away, and here comes Lawson. Carolina trying to put Duke away right here. Lawson comes out with the basketball.
Look at that spin move.
Boy, smart decision by Hansborough.
Well, he's got basketball IQ pretty good. He's been around 4 years. I tell you, when they're playing well, Ellington and Lawson, they're not going to be beat.
Pretty good, aren't they?
When they're playing well, when they're effective.
Ellington with the left hand, no. Loose ball. Shire or Singler lost it, and boy, is the crowd upset now.
Now, think about what they're trying to achieve with Hansborough. Right there, they're in his face. I mean, that's a little Hail Mary time, too. But he had the strength to be able to make it.
Net.
And the bench loves it. I mean, he's trying to do something that's unheard of. During the Mike Krzyzewski era, when there's been nothing but brilliance out of Duke on so many consistent teams, he's trying to go 4 for 4, winning on this floor.
And Green as well.
Exactly.
That would be a remarkable accomplishment under any circumstance.
Well, more importantly, it would put him at #1 in the ACC. And right now, you look at the #1 seed, you're looking certainly at Carolina, Oklahoma, Pittsburgh, and obviously Connecticut. Hey, Heather, what about Mr. Hansborough?
Well, he got some advice from how to handle the pressure from someone you'd never guess, none other than Duke's J.J. Redick. Perhaps that violates the basic tenets of this rivalry, but J.J. said, be selfish with your time, Tyler. Be selfish with your emotions. You can only give so much to other people. Redick added, as weird as this may sound to ACC fans, I hope Tyler has a fantastic senior year. I can't think of anybody better to hold the ACC scoring record.
What a great compliment from Redick to Hansborough. Tells you what kind of kids both of them are.
You know, both dedicated collegians, love wearing their college uniform, representing their schools with a great deal of pride.
Every possession becomes important now. Ellington, that's his kind of shot. And what a great block by McClure, who just flew at him.
Came out of nowhere to get a piece of it. Time now going down to that clock. We're under the 5-minute mark. There's McClure with the block shot.
Nearly got to save as well. Duke has gone without a field goal nearly 4 minutes now.
You know, credit North Carolina defensively. We're doing a heck of a job in the second half.
McClure nearly gets the steal. Smith commits the foul off balance.
They don't get a lot of credit many times with their defensive ability, but in this second half, they have come out with purpose and have really challenged Duke, and that's why Duke has not made a 3 in the second half. We hear about their offensive prowess. I mean, they average better than 90 points a game.
Well, that's what people see, but a lot of their offense is based on what they can do on defense.
Mike, I can't even imagine if they had all the parts that were on that roster to start the season. With Zeller and Ginyard, with the rotation they could have had, it would have been unbelievable.
Lawson knocks down the free throw. It's 84-71, and it's getting dire for the Blue Devils. They are going to need to hit threes, and a lot of them, to make a comeback in this game as Carolina is starting to dominate.
19 for 22 on the free throw line, North Carolina versus 6 for 9 for Duke. Big edge there. See, they really match it up on the shooters. They're coming out extended defensively. Duke doesn't have a lot of post presence inside. They don't have that balance. They have some depth, but their people are all basically perimeter players.
Henderson, that's about the 4th time we have seen somebody slip and go to the ground. That tells you how the humidity is so high in here because it's so warm.
I think both clubs will be over in Greensboro for the early rounds of the tournament, which means you don't have to get in a plane and you can go to the Sweet 16 without really traveling. I think there's no doubt both these clubs will be in Greensboro.
Interesting that Mike Slive, who's the head of the selection committee out of the Southeastern Conference, he's
RPI,
the commissioner, talking about trying to keep teams closer to home because of the economy. I think that's a wonderful move on his part.
He says, forget about the RPI. He wants to get the VBDI, the Vital Ball Dog Index.
McClure with a steal. 4-12 and counting.
They better push the ball and look for some threes. Try to get some screens. Can't get any post presence.
Singler. Boy, is Carolina doing a great job defensively.
They got some solid minutes thus far out of Frazier and out of Davis off that bench. This has been the start to me in the second half has been Lawson. He's been the guy that's really made it happen for them.
Killing some clock here. Lawson quicker than Singler. How many layups has he made in the second half? Stewart's got to be enjoying, especially the second half by the Tar Heels of North Carolina. They have been brilliant, particularly this young man, Ty Lawson. 16 of his 20 points have come in the second half. He has penetrated one possession after another.
They can't stop him. His dribble penetration and his ability to complete the play. You know what separates him from a lot of guards? He can complete the play at the end. A lot of guys can penetrate, but they can't finish.
14-0 run by North Carolina. Duke has failed from three in the second half. 1 out of 11 from long range.
They have done a phenomenal job defensively here in that second half. Roy's got to be so pleased with this second half performance.
Dick, tonight, Side by Side, brought to you by Cars.com. It's the point guards.
Well, you see Lawson's numbers right there. Polis started off hotter, but he has done a great job with his penetration ability, his upper body strength. He can finish. When that backcourt's playing well, they're the best backcourt in America when you talk Lawson and Ellington.
Well, a lot of the energy has gone out of this building in a great North Carolina run. When you can come on the road, there is Shire for three. When you can come on the road, you're not talking about just going anywhere to play.
You're talking
about
City.
Coming to this building to play.
Isn't that Cupcake City? And they're trying to go 4 for 4 in the last 4 years. Ty Lawson. He's been a runaway freight train to the basket. Look at his upper body strength. Puts the ball on a glass really well. Has a great feel for where he is on the court. He knows where he is. He knows how to suspend in the air to complete the play. Oh, it's been special, though, Mike. It's been another great night. We've had some brilliant plays here tonight by both clubs, but this North Carolina team is just too good. They're just flat out too good.
You always want to judge a team on how they are playing when they play at their best. And when North Carolina plays its best, you have to wonder if you played a 5-game series with somebody, they're going to win 4 out of the 5.
Oh, without a doubt. But in college basketball, have one bad night and lose that one.
You don't get to do that,
lights out. Connecticut and Carolina would be one heck of a matchup. To beat is worth 20 points. Has become such a major factor.
Green.
Versatility, got 4 fouls.
To beat in Hansborough will be pretty interesting, especially after the things that Tabit said about him.
He blocked shots like you can't believe. I didn't know Tabit said anything about Hansborough, did he? I know Harangoni, but I didn't know about Hansborough.
He got Hansborough in the same conversation.
Oh, he did? But he's a good kid. He really is. He's only been playing about 4 years. Jim Calhoun's club just keeps getting better and better. Another big win today.
Smith knocks that one down. It's a 13-point ball game. And North Carolina will work on the clock every possession. Lawson against the double team. And a good job to get it up.
They're good on the free throw line, so that makes them extra dangerous late in the game. Spread the court.
nobody out there that you would mind sending to the free throw line.
That's an area he's really improved on. Attacking the basket off the bounce, Ellington. When he arrived, he was more or less a stationary jump shooter.
Shire, Thomas with a rebound. Thomas with a miss, and he's fouled. Tomorrow night, join Brent, Coach Knight, and Digger Phelps when number 7 Louisville takes on Notre Dame. It's the Thursday night showcase on ESPN.
Tell you, Haringody really struggling playing a good Louisville team. Is the big three. Wow, that's a big three. Musburger, Knight, and Phelps. Wow, that's not no room down there. Those 3 guys, but Haringody's better be super, and so is McElorney. They got to have a great performance to break a 7-game losing streak against a quality team in Louisville. Hey, Mike, I know somebody wishes they were here, obviously. I got a note from a young fella passed away. Unbelievable. He died so young from colon cancer. Duke medical graduate, medical school, Dr. Malkow. His mom, Sharon, sent me a note and said how much Steve loved Duke. We sent our sympathy out to the family. Also, I want to thank Jim Flowergroves here. He's from our Buckeye check cashing company. He gave $100,000. Mike Krzyzewski and I got him to give $100,000 to come to this game to the V Foundation. He's here today having a blast, and we can't thank him enough for his generosity.
Lawson double team. They'll call a timeout with 2:08 to go. The lead still 14.
Hey, what about Brett Favre retiring since it's now blowout city here? What do you think, buddy? Should have happened a year earlier.
I hate to see him go, though. I love Favre.
I would have loved to see him finish as a Green Bay Packer, just like I would have loved to see, players stay a long time. I'd hate to see Derek Jeter ever put another uniform on other than the Yankee uniform.
Well, that kind of thing doesn't happen anymore. It used to be, when we were growing up, you would see guys that would have a 20-year career. It was always with the same team, especially if you're a superstar. And now, guys play a few years and it's off for the Bucs somewhere else.
Yeah, I know that. It's all about, instant make the Bucks, but I'd hate to see Jeter put another uniform on.
That'd be bad.
He is absolutely a Yankee at heart, and you'll never see his name on any steroid list. And, you're talking about A-Rod. We were talking before the game with Mike Krzyzewski. Mike knows Alex really well. We had him here. In fact, Brent Musburger and I had him here for a basketball game when he was out in Seattle. And he's got a chance to redeem himself, but he's got to really make some real commitments. I think the first commitment is get out there and help the youth and make some donations and charity and give up those 156 homers in Texas.
Ellington.
North Carolina on their average of 92 points. They let him go right to the goal. Has not been able to score here in the second half. Henderson having a brilliant month, though.
Lawson lost it on the way in. North Carolina does not need that kind of possession. They just need to work on the
ball. You don't need that.
And he's fouled.
That is really silly. That is not smart basketball. He's a smart kid, understands how to play, Fraser. Going to stop the clock and put him on the line for 3.
And all Roy Williams could do was hold his palms up to the sky. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's really not smart basketball there. Not with that lead. Last night, what about Kalidas? Had 3 opportunities, had a brilliant game, 33 points, goes to the line, has 3 free throws, could tie the game up.
It was unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he unfortunately couldn't come up, and Jody Meeks had made a big shot. In that Missouri game, Kid Taylor made a big shot in the rivalry weekend to beat Kansas.
Well, say Shire makes the next 2, the lead's in single digits. We've seen Duke pull miracles before, haven't we?
Well, that would be a real miracle, my friend. You would have a heck of a scoop if they could come back and pull this one out. It's happened, though. It's happened. Dean Smith was a master at that. He was a master in pulling some miracles.
2 out of 3, loose ball. Paulus, nice job to keep it alive. Single in the leg. Oh, jeez.
They're not going to back away. They're not going to quit. You know that. North Carolina getting a little bit sloppy right now. Going to spread the court. That's smart right there. Good basketball mind. And Lawson, bring the ball back out. Go to the
foul
free throw
on
line.
Henderson.
Make some free throws. Hey, we got Duke and Carolina, my friends. A lot of real weird things can happen. Duke and Carolina. I mean, don't go away yet. But he converts this. This really hurts. But that three-point shot real quickly can get you right back in the hunt.
You have to foul and hope. And Ellington, terrific free throw shooter. Hits the first, he'll get another.
Well, I love your word you utilized, hope. You got to hope. But you got to have hope in everything.
You gonna sing that?
He's not the guy you want on the free throw line if you're Mike Krzyzewski. But if you're Roy Williams, you like seeing him on the line.
Well, they got all great free throw shooters out there now. Duke has to try to trade 3 for 2.
That's not going to help. What you got to do, basically, if you're North Carolina, just extend defensively, make them have to drive to the goal.
15 Duke turnovers tonight.
Only had 9 against Miami, but Miami played a little zone. At 22 against Clemson.
Loose ball saved.
He got bumped. He's going to go to the line.
Foul on Shire.
What a second half Lawson has had. Brilliant. I mean, I can't salute Tyler Hansbrough enough and the seniors for 4 years in a row to put it. It's unbelievable to be able to come here to Cameron Indoor Stadium 4 consecutive years.
It is a remarkable accomplishment. And now our most valuable player of the game, brought to you by Sonic. Ty Lawson, 21 points. More importantly, 17 in the second half when North Carolina came from behind to regain the lead and then started to dominate.
What were they down, Mike? Remember in the first half, they were down at least double figures. By 8, got up to 8, yep. Lawson has been, without a doubt, the star of stars. He's been a flat-out PTP here tonight, a prime-time performer.
There are certain things certain players have to do. Lawson is ineffective if he doesn't penetrate. Ellington is ineffective if he hits 3-point shots. And they did that tonight. Smith battling inside, although Ellington really an ineffective scorer this evening.
Well, second half he put on some points. There's Hansbrough right now, the rivalry start for him. Here's his first win on this floor. Tyler Hansbrough getting a taste. He's excited. He got a W at Cameron Indoor Stadium against his buddy J.J. Redick. And then it was another opportunity as they won that with 83-76. Wow. Look at this here. Longest win streaks at Cameron. Look at Wake Forest up there. Wow. That's Mr. Duncan. Take a look at that. You got Ralph Sampson there on the bottom. I tell you, there's been some great players in this series and some great matchups. And you and I have had the privilege to sit here.
Haven't we?
You know, the one thing, Duke, you look at their makeup of their team, if they're not making threes, they run into a dilemma because they have very little post presence. Where do they get any post presence in terms of scoring down in the box?
Lawson has gone from ineffectual in this game to being the leading scorer with 23. Talk about balance. Green and Ellington both have 15. Hansbrough and Thompson both have 14.
Well, that's exactly what Roy Williams spoke about in today's local papers, that he wants balance. Well, my friend, did he get balance tonight?
Yes, he did.
That's as balanced as you can get when you look at that distribution of the point totals. A terrific second half performance by North Carolina. And Heather spoke about it, how Roy Williams was not pleased and made some adjustments at halftime to get them to challenge and play defense. And what was the quote? Heather said, they better start to sweat, Roy said. They better start to sweat. Something we don't have to worry about.
No. This will be the 8th straight North Carolina win this year.
In a conference, an ACC conference play. 8 in a row after losing the first 2 to BC and to Wake Forest. Wake Forest has got to regroup. They seem to be in struggle city right now.
Foul is on Ellington with 34.9 to go. The one thing North Carolina does not want to do is commit a foul right now. The ACC standings, North Carolina will go up 1 game on Duke. If this holds, Duke will fall into a 4-way tie for second place with 3 losses: Clemson, FSU, and Virginia Tech.
Well, you know, you can get back in first, but now they got a tough task when you look at Duke. They got to go down to Chapel Hill and beat them in North Carolina, which they've done. In fact, when you look at this rivalry, 5 of the last 6 times the visiting team has won. Now, remember, when they play them again, do you think there'll be a little emotion? It's going to be the last game for Tyler Hansbrough in terms of regular season at Chapel Hill.
And it could be the last game in Chapel Hill for a whole slew of North Carolina guys.
Exactly. But, I mean, you think there'll be some emotion, especially when you think about what Hansbrough's achieved.
And by then, he could have passed J.J. Redick, or could do it in that game as the #1 scorer of all time.
But you know what happens so many times? There's so much emotion, so much passion that you lose a lot of energy. It just saps you. Didn't we see it down here with J.J. Redick's last game?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you're right.
We saw it.
He was so keyed up to play well in that game.
Well, you're emotional too. You're going to speak to the crowd after the game.
Not sure what this discussion is about.
They got a trip at Miami. I'm going to tell you something. Frank Hait's club has really played well. Lost that tough game here. We're up 16 and allowed it. They blew out Wake Forest by 27.
That Virginia Tech game is going to be very interesting in Blacksburg.
Seth Beaver's got a pretty good club. Last year, I thought they got a raw deal. I thought they belonged in the NCAA tournament based on their record in the ACC during the regular season.
I think this is a clock problem.
Take a look at Duke's upcoming schedule. Boy, there's a program that's really struggling big time. St. John's not getting people in Madison Square Garden. They'll get them when they play Duke, though. That place will be packed.
Rematch against Wake Forest.
And Roberts, the coach down there, has worked so hard. He's really doing everything the right way. They just can't seem to latch on to the super high school player down at St. John's.
Hansbrough hits the free throw. And they have made the adjustment. 34.6 to go in this game. Heels in control. Hansbrough 2 for 2.
Such a great teammate, too. All the players love playing with him. He's all about the team. That's a guy out there, all ego.
Lawson to make it 100.
Why not? Why not Lawson? He's been the star. He gets the trophy tonight.
Singler back the other way against Hansbrough. Can't hit it, but will draw a foul. The last time the Blue Devils gave up 100 against UCLA in 2005.
You know, we're talking about a team that leads the conference defensively. And here it is, showing you the offensive potent attack that they have when you look at North Carolina. They come on a road. Doesn't matter. You know, Mike Krzyzewski said, if you're good, it doesn't matter where you play. If you're good, and that's really true. I mean, if you're really good, I mean, look at Michigan State, the way they're playing right now on the road. They're 6-0 in the Big Ten on the road, and the conference is so much better now than it's been. Playing without one of their stars, too, Raymond Morgan, Tom Izzo's club. We'll see them next Tuesday. Have a game down there with Purdue. Got a tough break playing without Robbie Hummel.
Hansbrough foul with 21-4 on the clock.
This takes an eternity, the last minute or two.
It must seem like an eternity to the Blue Devils. You talked about their defense. They played sensational defense in the first half. They didn't allow Lawson to penetrate. Ellington wasn't getting wide open shots, and Hansbrough was not a factor. What else do you need to do against North Carolina?
And that's why they were able to go in on the plus side. They made threes in the first half. They did everything that they had to do. If you're doing a scouting report and analyzing what they would have to do to beat North Carolina, they achieved that in the first half. Second half, that's why you play 2 halves. It's been all North Carolina. Dominant.
You got to take your hat off to the Heels and the coaching staff, particularly Roy Williams, for the way they manipulated that bench tonight under some very warm circumstances down on the court. He saved his starters as many minutes as he could.
Dominant. Both coaches fit their programs to perfection.
Exactly.
When you look at Mike Krzyzewski, he fits the profile of Duke, and Roy Williams fits that profile down in North Carolina.